Hello and welcome to my channel UB's Flair, and in this channel I am constantly uploading the videos related to the IELTS speaking mock test. Here in those videos I am taking IELTS speaking mock test from jumpinto.com and I am uploading those videos in my YouTube channel. And today is the 8th day of and no, today is the ninth day of taking an IELTS exam from this jumpinto.com, and it's an online website and you can also practice from here. Let's begin today's session.
Do you think it's better to use a paper map or a map on your phone?
Let's play the question again.
Do you think it's better to use a paper map or a map on your phone?
Well, in the past, people used to take maps wherever they go because they don't have the tech of today's generation. But in today's time and in present context, it's better to carry a mobile phone which contains the application for maps. So it's better to use a mobile phone rather than taking a whole large size paper with you. And this is convenient and it's easier.
Do you think When was the last time you needed to use a map?
Well, most I use maps most of the time, and even if I need to travel in my home city, I use maps because I don't know where the exact shop is or exact location is. I used map on my phone like a few hours ago. Even even while reaching to this IELTS center, I used Google Maps.
If you visit a new city, do you always use a map to find your way around?
Yeah, absolutely, yes. If I visit any cities, then I definitely open my phone and log into the Google Maps and I find my location there and I travel there because I feel like it's much more convenient and easier rather than asking people about the where that location is, and I can just pinpoint my location and that destination, and it also shows how much time will it take and how much is the distance from its and how much is the distance. Mm, so yeah, I think it's better, and I usually open my Google Maps in my phone while traveling to another city.
In general, do you find it easy to read maps?
Well, if you have asked me this question like around 3 to 4 years ago, I would have said it's absolutely difficult to read those Google Maps and in my phone. But in present time, really feel convenient, and I don't have any hardships while navigating and reading the Google Maps. So I have to say it's quite easier for me to read Google Maps in today's time. And I can read any map, like even if it's topographic map, street view map, or other demographic view map, I can easily read it because I have been using Google Maps for around 4 years. So section 1 of my IELTS test has been finished, and we will move on to the section 2. You know, this section 2 is a cue card section where you will be given a question and you have to speak on that question topic for around 2 minutes, and the examiner will ask you around 2 to 3 follow-up questions. He may or may not ask you. So here is the question for today's speaking mock test section 2 or cue card session. Well, don't think. Well, first one is finished. Wait, it's taking time. I don't know what happened.
All right, let's move on to part two. You'll have 1 minute to prepare for this section. And after that, you need to speak about the given topic for up to 2 minutes. You can use the pencil and paper provided to take notes during your preparation time. The points listed on the topic card are there to help guide your talk. When you're ready to start speaking, just let me know. Now, your preparation time starts now.
Well, speaking about the horror moments of my life, I have to say, I have to remember and I have to tell you that one moment where I hurriedly submitted an assignment during my college days. Well, it was around 2 3 years ago. I have to say, 3 years ago when there was an assignment due, but I didn't knew about it as I was busy doing my some extra works in my college program, and we were doing some works that was not included in the course book. And while doing that work, I we I even with my friends clearly missed the deadline, and it was around like 3 or 4 hours remaining only. And during the time, we hurriedly made completed our completed our task and submitted that in time, just before the deadline. And and in that assignment, I have to say I didn't fully understood the assignment text, but still I tried to convey the answer and uh, try to answer those questions as fastly and as accurately as I can. And after submitting that assignment, I really felt bad because I should have cared more about this curricular tasks rather than those out of the course book. And even though I manage my tasks and I manage my works before the deadline, but on this moment, uh, this that individual moment clearly navigated me to the edge of my mm, patience. And because I had to do that assignment in really hurry, and after that I really plan my all the tasks and assignments or the things to do before the deadline. And I do check those kinds of tasks regularly. And I feel and I try to convince myself that nothing is missing and I am catching everything. So here we go to the section 3 of speaking mock test. That is the first question.
Do you think it's okay to arrive late when you meet a friend?
Usually, I have to say it's okay to meet your friend late because most of the times you are just meeting your regular friend, and there is no need to hurry to meet your friend. You can plan your activities. You can dress yourself in a good way so that even it will be late to meet your friend. But I think it's casual and it's okay to meet your friend a little bit late, but you should not be late by an hour. And in other occasions, like when you are going to a party or you are going somewhere which is a pre-planned text, in that conditions you should try to reach your friend on time because he is already waiting you there, and you have to value his time. But in other scenarios, it's really okay to meet your friend a little bit late, and I think your friend will consider that time for you because he is your friend and he will understand you. Or maybe he should maybe or maybe he or she may have been used to with you because you may always be late on your work.
What should happen to people who come late for work?
Well, I said earlier, if you are late by 5 minutes or 10 minutes, it's okay because you cannot always be on time everywhere because in certain occasions you may fall in traffic, you may have some other more important task, or you may be distracted somewhere, so you couldn't reach their work in time. But uh, people who come late by an hour should be penalized, and even if the office of work culture is for 8 hours a day, then his 1 hour should be deducted because it's late. But I think it's better to inform your senior rather than just arriving late in your office. And if you mm, if you inform your senior, then your senior can, then your manager or senior can manage his tasks accordingly. But in case of important meetings, you have to think about your time and your colleagues time too, because you are not always the priority, and you have to acknowledge the others time also. But in general, if someone is arriving late for their work, then it's okay to deduct their hour work, or you may deduct his payment while paying him at the end of the month or week.
What should happen to people who come late for work? Can you suggest how people can make sure they don't arrive late?
Well, the first and you have to do is setting your alarm, because that alarm will help you to wake up and be ready for your work. Other than that, you can manage your tasks accordingly. Even if you get caught in traffic, then you have to manage that time earlier before leaving your home. And other than that, uh, uh, you may just relocate your apartment or your building near the office. mm, what could be done to come earlier or to manage the work, to manage your late time? I think that's all. Or you can or you can buy a private vehicle, and then you may be on time on your work, because public vehicles used most of your time in their routes, and you may take a shortcut way to reach your office if you have a private vehicle. So that's it.
Is it better to study for long periods or in shorter blocks of time?
Well, I have to say both. In certain occasions, you have to study for a long time, and like during your exam period, you must study for around 2 to 3 hours continuously. But in other occasions, like if you are just reading a book for your time pass for or your just refreshment, then you can take a small breaks and complete that book on any day you like. But in other cases, like when your exam or your deadline is coming or your examination is coming, then either or you need to finish reading a book or article on time, then it's okay to read for a long time. But personally, I prefer to read for long term rather than taking shorter blocks of time, because while reading long time, you get concentrated on that certain topic, and it helps you to catch the concepts easier, as compared to reading habit of taking short breaks. And in those short breaks, your mind could get distracted, and you may be working any other work which is meant to be done afterwards, so after completing the reading.
Is it better to... What are the likely effects if students don't manage their study time well?
Well, the obvious result will be failing in examinations and having difficulty in catching the concepts, or securing good marks in the examinations, or maybe uh, being targeted by a student as a bad student who doesn't read or completes their work on time. Other than that, you could be lazy. You may not succeed in your aim or career during your long run. So I have to say, managing your study time really affects a children's uh, child or student's career, because studying is the only thing that children must do, or students must do. And if they are not able to manage their time properly for that task, and I think they are just what do we call them, they don't value your time, or they are not punctual, and they are not disciplined. So these are the things that gets affected if students don't manage their time properly.
How important is it for students to have enough leisure time?
Speaking about leisure time for the students, students must need some leisure time for the refreshment and doing extra curricular activities, like playing, maybe learning some new skills, or just trying their other hobbies like playing football, cricket, or maybe learning some music or other art forms. So I believe student must be provided with leisure time, and they should not be just always suppressed with the curricular activities only. And I think that leisure time is really important for the growth of students in other sectors. They could be more healthier. They may build their body by hitting the gym, or maybe they could learn some art form or music from different countries in that leisure time, or maybe they could just rest by lying on their beds, or even they could talk to their parents and share how they feel about the current scenarios of the country or international scenarios, or they could talk about the geopolitical technological uh, things with their parents or their siblings. So I have to say, leisure time is really important for students, as that helps them to get freshened and helps them to be ready for the next study period. So that's it that's all in my today's session. See you later in the next part, which will be part 10 or day 10 of taking an SALS speaking mock test via jump into.com. Thanks for watching.